One of the most interesting reactions we've ever gotten out of our own community here on YouTube was when we uploaded the video ranking the best and worst Warthog tires of all time. Now, I stand by that video. I feel like that is the highest and truest and most pure form of art that exists on this platform. Thank you very much. But it was in that video where we made the joke that we totally weren't running out of ideas and that we had at least 2 ideas left. Now, of course, we were being sarcastic, but it was very interesting seeing people genuinely get concerned thinking that we were running out of topics to talk about on Rocket Sloth. Sure, we didn't get giant doing videos like ranking the best and worst elevators in Halo, which is a banger if you hadn't seen that video. We did it way back when we were still small. But we've always been scraping the bottom of the barrel while also drinking out of the fully overflowing barrel of water as well. What we've really learned about ourselves is we just like Halo. Whether it's exploring the most relevant maps of an upcoming Halo game, to looking at the smallest and most esoteric details, finding out that there's other Halo fans that appreciate the small attention to detail just as much, is something we think is really cool. So birds in Halo, guys! How's it going? My name's Rocket Elijah, and Rocket Luke and I decided it'd be really fun to go through every single Halo game and overanalyze all of the birds that are in every game. And this ended up becoming way more interesting than we thought it would be. First and foremost, we were questioning whether or not the Arbiter and the entire Sangheili species should count as birds. We asked both a group of lawyers and scientists, and they said, I don't know. So for now, we're gonna skip them and jackals and focus on things that at least more traditionally look like birds, even though an elite could easily just be like a wingless, flightless bird. Okay, so to start things off, let's look at Halo 2 with the Quadwing, which is this species of bird that shows up on Delta Halo. I don't know. These things are just super fascinating. They got 4 wings. They look like miniature pterodactyls. And actually, these birds are really interesting, not only just for the fact that they're in the game, and if you shoot them, you know, they kind of go poof, and there's this really satisfying feeling when you kill them, but also with Halo 2 specifically, it kind of, in a really unique way, built this extraterrestrial worldly feel to Delta Halo that just made the whole journey in Halo 2, where you go to another Halo ring, that much more alive and different from the first Halo ring from Combat Evolved. Now, we have to make one thing clear though when it comes to the Quadwings. These birds are not the same birds that you see on High Charity. It's a rookie mistake. But thinking that these birds are the same type of species as these birds is exactly what splits the good Halo players from the great Halo players. Yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason, on Gravemind, there's these types of birds that are seen flying around in the garden sections of High Charity, and also, if killed, they'll explode into a burst of blood or bird parts. But upon closer look, you'll realize that they're actually not the same types of birds as the Quadwings. Matter of fact, these look pretty much like human seagulls, which just raises so many questions as to why they are on this Covenant spacecraft holy city type place. I don't know, one of the biggest unsolved bird-related mysteries in the Halo universe, but you know what? I can get behind it, and I just want to know a little bit more. I want to know the lore and the backstory about these birds. If we look to Halo 3 though, we do see the Quadwings make a return on the Ark itself, which is interesting if you think about the implications of the Forerunners trying to preserve certain species on the installations. Maybe the Quadwings were some of the Forerunners' favorite species, and they're like, these guys right here, we gotta make sure that they're safe. But you do get to see them on Guardian as they just kind of fly around a little bit, and you get to see them in that new crisp Xbox 360 level quality. It's just so good. You can also see them on Epitaph as well. Halo 3 actually did a lot for bird-related species as a whole too. If you go to the pit and you look up towards the sky, you actually can see a little yellow bird just kind of flying around, and we were really intrigued by this bird. We thought it was very important that we got a closer look, so we made our way over to the bird in theater mode, and yeah, it's just this cool little yellow bird flying around, doing its thing. Apparently, it's a swallow, according to Halopedia. And one thing that's super fascinating about this bird is that you can also find it on Standoff and Ghost Town, as well as, you know, the pit. But now one of the biggest things with Halo 3, the best features of all of Halo 3 are definitely the majestic seagulls that you can see on Longshore. Now, one thing about Longshore that's very unique is that while there are still a few seagulls, you can tell that the designers of this map must really not like seagulls all that much despite putting them in their own map. Because look, all of the rooftops and lights have these spikes on them, but they're literally so those seagulls don't have a place to perch. Actually, we think it's some really immersive world building design that was done there. But still, it's cool to see those seagulls flying around, and just the sound of the seagulls squawking on Longshore really does a little bit for bringing this level to life. Also, the seagulls do show up in the other Halo 3 multiplayer level, Cut Your Life Into Pieces, where you can see a few more of these majestic beasts just chilling over there on some rocks. Okay, then if we look at Halo Reach, we can see, of course, those MOAs early on, which just led to such a massive fan approval, as people really realized that Halo is the true bird genre in the gaming industry, and they could appreciate it for what it is. Now, not only do those MOAs exist in the first level, and also as a burger in a later level, and as Pringles in Walmart in real life, but with a little bit of modding, you can, you know, save Christmas with some MOAs as well, which is one of our favorite experiences that we've done on this channel. But MOAs aren't the only bird-related species that can be found on Reach. You actually can see some eagles in the distance in that first level as well. And even when it comes to multiplayer levels, if we go to the level Tempest, we can see some more seagulls in the distance. Now, one thing that's interesting about Halo Reach's multiplayer map Tempest is that to this day, nobody actually knows what Halo ring this level takes place on. It's still a big mystery, but one thing we do know for sure, wherever it does take place, whichever Halo ring it is on, it does have seagulls, making this the first Halo ring to confirm the seagulls' existence off of Earth itself and maybe High Charity. Hey, maybe there's some secret story that can be told there that we didn't realize until just now. Maybe that's some crazy rabbit hole we need to examine at some point. That what if the Covenant already had found a Halo ring years earlier, took the seagulls off of it, and then flew off and they're on High Charity now for whatever reason. I don't know where I'm going with that. Hey, you know what? We don't talk about Halo Wars enough. Let's talk about Halo Wars. Apparently, on the level Harvest, there is a bird on the planet Harvest that also looks like a seagull, and it's dead. Also on Shield World 0459, there's this toucan-looking bird. It kind of looks like a budget Ho-Oh from Pokemon. I don't know. I think it's neat. Okay, Halo 4 is something very interesting because if you go to the level Exile and you look off at the sky in the distance, you can see a bunch of these birds. They kind of look like bats, like these bat bird things flying in the distance. We don't get the closest look of them, and they seem to occasionally phase in and out of reality. And then on Halo 2 Anniversary, on the level Shrine, it looks like you can see these same flying rats, bats. I don't know what they are. They look like Halloween decorations that you would put in your window, but they're spooky and they're maybe flying out of a cave. I'm pretty sure that these are the same birds. Let's put them side by side and compare. Sorry, Luke, for the extra work. But hey, look, there's something there. And while we're on the topic of cross-dimensional species of birds, on the Halo 2 Anniversary level Remnant, you can actually sometimes see crows on the rocks, and sometimes they're just kind of there, and then sometimes they're not. And interestingly enough, these crows are actually invincible, but things definitely get really spicy with Halo 5 Guardians. Seriously, I never have been more excited to look into anything in Halo 5 in my entire life than looking at this specific bird called a Luminon. Once again, thank you Halopedia for being an amazing source of information, but essentially these are some sort of fly-capable creatures classified as quote-unquote sky rays. They show up on the multiplayer map Coliseum. Yeah, I don't know. The concept art for it looks really cool. I would love to see Master Chief fly on one of these one day. Okay, as I was recording this video, Luke literally just sent me the Halopedia page for the Quinquodon. Apparently, it's some flying animal that is native to Sanghelios, and I'm just looking at the headshot of the model from Halo 5 Guardians, and this might be the best thing ever. Apparently, there was a cannon fodder where they talked a little bit about the lore behind this thing, and they prey on something called fist-sized dust mites, which would make Sanghelios be the most terrifying place in the entire galaxy. But I don't know, I just like the way that these things look. They look goofy, they have these giant wings, the concept art and the official art look amazing. I think it's cool that Covenant Ambient Bird 01 made its way into being a real thing, and I can appreciate it. I am glad, though, that they added the quirky beak to the thing, because it just makes it that much better. Okay, then moving forward, when we get to Halo Wars 2, apparently on the Ark, we see more of that mysterious white bird that very strongly resembles a seagull, but we can't actually confirm whether or not it is a seagull, further adding to our suspicion of some crazy conspiracy theory involving Halo birds. But we do believe that by the time Halo Infinite comes out, there's going to be some more stuff with the evolution of birds in Halo. Not only in the reveal teaser do we see birds flying by, but when they did the Halo flight, we already had been cooking up this video for quite some time, so we made sure to pay attention to any birds while we were playing. Now, of course, on the level Bazaar, there are the chickens that run around that are incredibly skinny, and you can even grapple hook them and bring yourself over to them, which is just amazing. But we did notice that on live fire, if you stand on the tower and look off into the distance, you can see a bunch of birds flying away. And we thought that was interesting, just how we can see some birds just flying off over there in the campaign reveal trailer. When you're on Zeta Halo and you're getting off the crashed Pelican, you can see some more birds in the distance. So how this will play into the overall plot of Halo Infinite, we don't know. I don't know if it will at all. I mean, it totally will in one way or another, right, guys? Right. But that is just a surface level look into the birds within the Halo universe. And as more interesting details about birds continues to come out, and as we get to see more levels and areas where we see these flying creatures, we'll be sure to keep you guys posted. And make sure if we missed something or you discover a bird on a Halo level, you definitely get in contact with us, because we need to know. Also, if you want to see more videos where we go way too in depth on topics in Halo, suggestions would be greatly appreciated. But you can also tweet to us at Rocket Elijah for me, or tweet to Luke every once in a while too at Rocket Sloth Luke. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.